let's get into this. What we're exploring today, it's not just another book. It feels more like a profound mirror, a
Yeah.
really foundational text, offering that direct line to self-mastery. And for those of us really committed to being the architects of our own lives, this isn't just some nice idea, it's like the operating manual.
Precisely. Yeah, we're opening up James Allen's As a Man Thinketh. And sure, you hear echoes of it in like a lot of modern stuff, but its real strength, its enduring power, is in its sheer unadorned truth. It's a compact, just 17 short chapters, but it cuts right to the bone. It shows you how to dismantle those inner barriers and how creation, conscious creation, isn't just about competing out there. It's the fundamental force shaping your reality. So yeah, our aim today is to distill those raw mechanics, the inner architecture for those already, deep on this path.
And right at the absolute heart of it all is that phrase, isn't it? As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Allen doesn't present that as just some old proverb. He frames it as a universal law, like gravity, a principle governing, well, everything, your whole being, and critically, every single condition, every circumstance in your life. He's incredibly direct. A man is literally what he thinks. His character is just the sum total of his thoughts. That's the bedrock, the code of our inner world, really.
Mm. And what's really powerful is how he grounds it in natural law. He uses that seed analogy. As the plant springs from the seed, so every act of man springs from the hidden seeds of thought. And this isn't just about the things we decide to do. It's the spontaneous stuff, too, the reflexes. Every joy, every bit of suffering is all fruit from those thought seeds, which tells us, as he says, man is a growth by law, not a creation by artifice. Cause and effect, it's absolute. Just as real in thought as it is in the physical world. No getting around it.
Okay, so if that's true and it feels true, then it really forces a hard question on you, the listener. What does Allen actually mean when he says, quite provocatively, man is made or unmade by himself? He's saying that right there in the armory of thought, we are constantly forging weapons that destroy us. Or we're crafting the tools to build these incredible heavenly mansions of joy and strength and peace. It just cuts through any idea that we're simply victims of circumstance, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. It drives home that undeniable truth. Man is the master of thought, the molder of character, and the maker and shaper of condition, environment, and destiny. Even when we feel weak or lost, we're still the master. Just maybe, as Allen puts it, a foolish master mismanaging our own inner kingdom. It's the path to wisdom. It's exactly that journey, discovering these laws of thought. How? Through relentless application, self-analysis, and experience. It's basically an urgent command. Dig deep into the mind of his soul. The answers aren't out there. They're in here.
Right, so if thoughts are the seeds, let's trace how that inner gardening directly shapes the outer world. Allen's metaphor of the mind as a garden is so vivid. A man's mind may be likened to a garden, which may be intelligently cultivated or allowed to run wild, but whether cultivated or neglected, it must and will bring forth.
It immediately makes you stop and think, okay, what seeds exactly am I planting, consciously or not, right now? And what sort of harvest am I actually setting myself up for? And that inner work, that cultivation, directly dictates what he calls the outer world of circumstances. He says it shapes itself to the inner world of thought, and this is so key. Circumstance does not make the man. It reveals him to himself. The book just hammers this point home. There's this unwavering link. The alteration in his circumstances has been an exact ratio with his altered mental condition. It's like a perfect mirror. It can't lie. If you want to change the reflection, well, you have to change what's standing in front of it.
This is where it gets really practical, I think. He talks about the crystallization of thoughts. He says, thought cannot be kept secret. It rapidly crystallizes into habit, and habit solidifies into circumstance. Just think about that process. Ephemeral thought, concrete habit, solid reality. And his examples are blunt, almost stark, like bestial thoughts. They lead to habits like drunkenness, sensuality, which then solidify into destitution, disease. Impure thoughts become weakening habits, leading to distracting, difficult circumstances. And crucially, thoughts of fear, doubt, indecision. They crystallize into weak habits, which then solidify into failure, lack, indigence. It's just a direct chain, no ambiguity.
But then the flip side, and this is where the power of the agency comes back in. Pure thoughts crystallize into temperance, self-control, which solidify into repose, peace, courage, self-reliance. These lead to manly habits, as he calls them, bringing success, abundance, freedom. The pattern is just absolute. It's impartial. It doesn't care about your good intentions. It only responds to the nature of the thought seed itself.
So it's really not about wishing things were different on the outside, is it? It's about leveraging our power on the inside.
Exactly. Allen states it so clearly. A man cannot directly choose his circumstances, but he can choose his thoughts, and so indirectly, yet surely, shape his circumstances. And he closes that part with this beautiful, precise image. The world is your kaleidoscope, and the varying combinations of colors, which at every succeeding moment it presents to you, are the exquisitely adjusted pictures of your ever-moving thoughts. It's just a profound statement of personal responsibility, a direct instruction, really, for the inner alchemist.
And this inner architecture, it doesn't stop at our circumstances. It hits our physical bodies too, right? Alan really doesn't pull any punches here. The body is the servant of the mind.
Well,
It obeys the operations of the mind, whether they be deliberately chosen or automatically expressed. He's basically saying disease and health, just like circumstances, are rooted in thought. That's a big challenge to how many of us think about wellness.
it's a big challenge. And he uses some, frankly, chilling examples to make the point. Thoughts of fear have been known to kill a man as speedily as a bullet, and they're continually killing thousands of people, just as surely, though less rapidly. That's not just poetic language. But then the contrast. Strong, pure, and happy thoughts build up the body in vigor and grace. Your physical self is constantly responding to the energetic quality of your inner state. It's like a living biofeedback machine.
He gives us that direct challenge, doesn't he? If you would perfect your body, guard your mind. If you would renew your body, beautify your mind. He even points out how things like malice, envy, disappointment, despondency, they literally rob the body of its health and grace. You can even see it on someone's face sometimes, right? That sour face, the wrinkles that mar. It's the inner state made visible.
And the alternative he offers is just crystal clear. He says, there is no physician like cheerful thought for dissipating the ills of the body. There is no comforter to compare with goodwill for dispersing the shadows of grief and sorrow. And then this incredibly liberating perspective, living continually in thoughts of ill will, cynicism, suspicion, envy that's being confined in a self-made prison hole. But Sintis, to think well of everyone, to cherish peaceful, kind thoughts. Such unselfish thoughts are the very portals of heaven. It's laid out right there, a stark choice for anyone serious about self-mastery.
Okay, so thought is this incredible engine. Health, circumstances, they're the outputs. But how do we steer it? How do we direct this power with, precision? Alan brings in purpose. Until thought is linked with purpose, there is no intelligent accomplishment. He's really strong on this, calling aimlessness a vice, leading straight to failure, unhappiness, and loss. That's a pretty clear call to action for anyone on this path, the warrior of the mind.
It really raises the question of what constitutes true power. And Alan's answer is direct. A man should conceive of a legitimate purpose in his heart and set out to accomplish it. And this purpose, he stresses, has to become the centralizing point of his thoughts, his supreme duty. Even what looks like failure from the outside, he reframes it. It's just building strength of character, which becomes the foundation for the next attempt, the next level of achievement. It's about adjusting the aim, not quitting the quest.
And a huge part of that is fighting that inner battle, right?
Yeah.
Against the doubts and fears. Alan says they should be rigorously excluded. Why? Because they are disintegrating elements which break up the straight line of effort. And then he makes that powerful link. He who has conquered doubt and fear has conquered failure. That's the core of mental resilience, isn't it?
Absolutely. That's the point of ignition. The inner alchemy. Thought, allied fearlessly to purpose, becomes creative force.
Yeah.
This is where you stop being just a bundle of wavering thoughts and fluctuating sensations, and you become the conscious and intelligent wielder of his mental powers. And it brings us right back to that core truth laid bare. All that a man achieves and all that he fails to achieve is the direct result of his own thoughts. There's no one else to point the finger at. It's all internal.
So purpose is the compass, then vision, so they must be the maps. Alan talks about the dreamers, not as lazy people, but as the saviors of the world. He says, humanity cannot forget its dreamers. It cannot let their ideals fade and die. It lives in them. It knows them as the future realities. These are the people who dare to see beyond what is.
And he doesn't just leave it there. He gives concrete examples from the text, not just history lessons, but proofs of concept. Columbus cherished a vision of another world, found it. Copernicus envisioned multiple worlds, revealed them. Buddha beheld a vision of a spiritual world of perfect peace, entered it. And his instruction to us, to you listening, the alchemist crafting your reality, is profound. Cherish your visions, cherish your ideals, cherish the music that stirs in your heart, the beauty that forms in your mind, for out of them will grow all delightful conditions, all heavenly environment. That's the actual substance of creation.
Which completely dismantles those common ideas, those easy outs like luck or chance, doesn't it? Alan just cuts right through that noise. He says, the thoughtless, the ignorant, and the indolent. Talk of luck, of fortune, and chance. because they only see the surface effects.
Exactly. And then he lays down the law underneath it all, starkly. In all human affairs, there are efforts and there are results. The strength of the effort is the measure of the result. Chance is not. And he gives this powerful summary, a real distillation for this whole section and maybe for the whole journey. The vision that you glorify in your mind, the ideal that you enthrone in your heart, this you will build your life by, this you will become. It's an unbending principle, not just a nice thought.
So, taking all this together, what's the ultimate state? What's the real fruit of this mastery? Alan points to serenity. Calmness of mind is one of the beautiful jewels of wisdom. And he's clear, it's not something you're just born with. It's the result of long and patient effort and self-control. It signals ripened experience, deep knowledge of how thought actually operates. You have to earn it.
You do. And the effect of that earned calmness is immense. It radiates outwards. The more tranquil a man becomes, the greater is his success, his influence, his power for good. He paints this picture of the strong, calm man as being like a shade-giving tree in a thirsty land or a sheltering rock in a storm. It's that perfect balance, that exquisite poise of character that we call serenity. It's the pinnacle of mastery, really, a calm center in the storm.
And yet, when we look around, we see so much of the opposite, don't we? Humanity just surging with uncontrolled passion, grief, anxiety, doubt. That's the default state for so many.
Which is precisely why Alan offers the solution so directly. He speaks right to those tempest-tossed souls, to anyone wrestling with those inner storms. Only the wise man, only he whose thoughts are controlled and purified, makes the winds and the storms of the soul obey him. And he finishes with this direct command, this instruction for the awakening consciousness. Keep your hands firmly upon the helm of thought. In the core of your soul reclines the commanding master. He does but sleep. Wake him. Self-control is strength. Right thought is mastery. Calmness is power. Say unto your heart, peace, be still.
Wow. It's such a profound message, yet so elegantly simple, isn't it? James Allen just lays it out, the absolute game-changing power of your conscious thought. It's not just abstract philosophy to think about. It feels like a direct blueprint, an actionable plan for literally shaping your inner and outer worlds.
Absolutely. And so if your environment truly is your looking glass, as Ellen says, and every single thought is a seed, it leaves you with a pretty sharp question, doesn't it? For you, the listener, the architect. What deeper, maybe unexamined beliefs are silently running the show, cultivating the garden of your life right now? And what radical, beautiful shifts might just be waiting to blossom if you truly dared to wake the master within?